How's it going, everybody? Dieter Kurtenbach here in Oakland. Let's talk about the Warriors' 131-128 loss to the Toronto Raptors on Thursday. A heartbreaker, no doubt, but nevertheless one of the best games the Warriors have played in all year. Entertaining to the core. Warriors fight back from an early deficit. Kevin Durant hits an insane shot to send the game into overtime. Warriors get a defensive stop there at the end of regulation. Durant had 51 points. Kawhi Leonard had 37. They're going back and forth. Kyle Lowry's chipping in. It was an incredible game, a game that I wouldn't be surprised repeats itself in June when these two teams meet in the NBA Finals, or if these two teams meet in the NBA Finals. Don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. But here's the three things from this regular season matchup. And it's not the last one. They're going to play again next month, and it should be a blast at Oracle Arena. But the big three, Kevin Durant, again, 51 points, just outstanding. The Warriors needed him to take over this game. They were behind early. They couldn't get anything going. It looked like so many of those losses that they had earlier in the Steph Curry absence. Curry's coming back Saturday. This is the last game that Kevin Durant is leading it, and boy, did he go out with a bang. 51 points again. I don't know if it's his best performance as a Warrior, but it's certainly up there, and some of the shots that he was hitting were absolutely redonkulous. What I really liked from Durant, though, was early in the game, him kind of being a facilitator, not putting the ball on the floor too much, not making the ball stick. He really got the ball moving. When the Warriors were at their best, it was Kevin Durant on the floor. Sometimes that is just not the case. He can be a little hero ball happy. Not in this game. And that kept the Warriors in it a little bit. And then when he took over, it still had that pace. It still had that verve. It wasn't so much him just being a superstar, put himself on the block, turnaround jump shots, things like that. No, he was working off of ball screens. Him and Andre Iguodala had a good two-man thing going. It was more inside of the Warriors' style, and it was aesthetically pleasing. And sometimes these incredible Durant games, again, incredible as they are, as impossible as he is to stop, not as aesthetically pleasing as some of the other basketball that we see the Warriors play. Second thing from this game, I said it a moment ago. Don't be surprised if these two teams meet in the NBA Finals. The Raptors, if you're not paying attention, well, you have to now. This is an elite team. The elite teams in the NBA are the Warriors, and then I would argue the Raptors, the Bucks. We'll see if the Celtics can get into that class. We'll see if the Sixers can get into that class. That's it right now. I don't think the Rockets are anywhere close. That was probably the best team the Warriors will play all year, and it has to say something big to Warriors fans, to Warriors coaches, to the Warriors front office, to everybody on that Warriors team, anyone surrounded by the Warriors team, the Bay Area in general, that they don't have Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, whatever DeMarcus Cousins brings, Alfonso McKinney. If we're getting granular, we have to mention Alfonso McKinney. He's an important player on this team. They didn't have any of those guys. The Raptors were full strength, full squad, as David Lee would say, and the Warriors pushed them to overtime. That says a lot to me. Now, listen, Kevin Durant's not going to score 51 points every game, but number three, Klay Thompson's not going to miss his final 5 shots in a game, probably ever again, period. Klay is having a rough year. He had that one incredible game in Chicago against that semi-professional team that we call the Bulls. They're really quite bad. Had that one incredible game, but he just has not found his pace. He hasn't found himself yet. He had a couple of moments in this game, no doubt, but missing his last 5 shots, a couple of shots that were huge in the scheme of the game, chances to put the Warriors over the top in a game that they trailed for pretty much the entirety. Really tough break. And you could see Klay was really feeling the burden of missing those shots. There's a lot of stuff that's going on. Jonas Jerebko was fantastic. Kevon Looney was insane. The Warriors have issues at center, but Kevon Looney can kind of be a Band-Aid for all that. They have issues with the bench, but Jonas Jerebko, just so good, kind of smooths it all over. You talk about Andre Iguodala. They had 5 turnovers in the overtime period. That's just too many to expect to win with. But still, everything going on with this team. And knowing that Steph Curry's coming back on Saturday, knowing that Draymond Green is coming back at the end of this road trip, you have to be encouraged about where the Warriors are at, and frankly, just how much better they can be than the rest of the league. They can play with the rest of the NBA right now without, again, Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and whatever DeMarcus Cousins is going to be for this team. What happens when those guys come back and they are themselves? They don't even have to be the best versions of themselves. They just show up and be average. There's a big gap between the Warriors and the rest of the NBA, if that's the case. Alas, a lot of time between now and June, and whoever comes out of the Eastern Conference, whoever comes out of the Western Conference, a lot of time to mess that up too. But it looks like it's going to be the Warriors, and it might just be these Toronto Raptors. They're going to play again in a couple of weeks. I am really excited for that. We will certainly talk before that game, though.